I'm presenting the stroke pathway today, thanks to the Pakistan Society of Neurology for arranging such a nice conference, and it will help the neurologists and the general physicians in treating the stroke patients. So basically, stroke pathway is a collective topic in treating the stroke patient, and many of these topics are already discussed or some are pending to discuss. So I
Okay.
have no disclosure for this talk. So we all know that time is brain, and every minute in which a large vessel ischemic stroke is untreated, the average patient loses 2 million neurons and 30.8 billion synapses and 12 kilometers of axonal fibers loss. Each hour in which treatment fails to occur, the brain loses as many neurons as it does in almost 3.6 years of normal aging. So there are data present on this. The time is brain, and there are the studies are present on this. So I will show a video. Can you hear this, sir? So this is did how we early identified the stroke. So we have fast method or we fast. It's been necessary to early identify the stroke. Did after identification of the stroke, and we can move the patient to the emergency. So stroke is a medical emergency, and we can save the brain is the earliest possible. We can move the patient to the emergency, and we can aware the peoples of our society that stroke is a medical emergency, and we have to save times for the treatment of stroke. So as in the developed worlds, there are stroke emergency mobile systems. So the goal of the mobile stroke unit is to shorten the time between the onset of stroke-like symptoms and the delivery of close busting or thrombolytic drugs, which must be administered within 3 hours of when symptoms begin or when the patient was last known to be well. There are different stroke scales to identify the stroke, like NIHS stroke scale, Los Angeles Bay Hospital stroke scale, Cincinnati stroke triage assessment tool, RACE, and FAST. So, as in Pakistan, most of the stroke center are use NIHS stroke scale. So we has already discussed by Dr. Serish. There are 13 components in the NIHS score which we can look for to identify the strokes. So once the patient arrive to the emergency, so we can register the patient and check the vital signs, airway, breathing, circulation. Intervention has necessary and the blood glucose and maintain IV line and send all the baseline investigation, CBC, blood chemistry. And we review the history for the when the patient last seen normal and when not when found down. So we can review the history and the stroke symptoms when it started. Then if the stroke team is available in the hospital, then we can consult the stroke team, or otherwise we can consult the neurology consult team. So as a quick bedside assessment, we can look for the NIHS score. If the NIHS score is more than 10 to 12, that indicates large vessel occlusion. Brief neurological exam, and we can send patient for urgent non-contrast CT scan, and we can look for the identified early ischemic changes. We can see what is the aspect score and identified the large complete infarct, or if there is any hemorrhage, then we can transition to the hemorrhage pathway. And we can also at the same time we can look for the inclusion and exclusion criteria for IVTP. So there are trials on the thrombolysis with the IVTPA. So the NINS published in 1995, which is to treat the patient of the stroke for 3 hours, and ICAS 3 have extended this window period to up to 4.5 hours. The ECAS was published in 2008. So the eligibility criteria. So we can, in the acute ischemic stroke onset less than 4.5 hours, and early ischemic stroke changes on non-contrastivity of mild to moderate extent other than frank hypotensivity. And lack of the contraindication like acute intracranial hemorrhage on CT, suspected subarachnoid hemorrhage, or extensive regions of obvious hypoattenuation. So once we exclude all these contraindication, then we can administration IVTPA has 0.9 mg per kg. Maximum 90 mg has a 10% bolus over 1 to 2 minutes, followed by remaining 90% has a 1 hour infusion. And we can monitor for bleeding and neurological deterioration. We can admit the patient to the stroke unit and maintain blood pressures. And do not give antiplatelets and anticoagulation for 24 hours. And do not perform arterial puncture, invasive procedures, or IM injection for 24 hours. We can obtain a CT scan brain after 24 hours and sooner if the neurological deterioration occurs. So number needed to treat, the sooner the TPA is given, the greater the benefit appears to be with reduced associated risk. A review comparing the NINS trial with the ECOS 3 trial found that within 3 hours of TPA treatment, 32.3 patients out of 100 benefit, while 3.3 were found. Within the extended window, 3 to 4.5 hours, 16.2 patients out of 100 benefit, and while 2.7 were harmed. Then after IVTPA, if the patient presented to us and we can consider the IVTPA, after IVTPA, we can also consider the endovascular therapy for thrombectomy. There are trial presents, different trials which was published in 2014 and 15. So the most effective therapy for large vessel occlusion is endovascular thrombectomy, and the patient with large vessel occlusion evident on CT angiography or MR angiography. So NIHS more than 10, aspect more than 10, although the median aspect score in the studies appears to be around 8. Last time, well known be less than 6 hours. It can be considered up to 24 hours if there is evidence of salvageable brain tissue with the help of CT perfusion or MR perfusion softwares if available. So there are different trials like they're published in the 2015 and 14, MR Clean, Escape, Extended IA, Swift Prime, and Investigate. It all show that thrombectomy is better in large vesicular occlusion. Now the worlds are also extending these for the down and diffuse. The down consider the patient for 24 hours, and the diffuse is considering patient for more than 16, less than 16 hours. So if the patient is out of window period, then we can consider, the patients who presented with more than 6 hours or 24 hours and not eligible for IVTP. So we can admit in stroke unit care for the neurologic and cardiac monitoring, and we can get stroke workup. We can send patient for MRI with DWI and SWI images and MR angiogram. We also done biochemical investigation like blood glucose, HbA1c, serum electrolytes, renal function, and complete blood count, including platelet count, prothrombin time, INR, and activated partial thromboplastin. For cardiac evaluation, we can do an ECG and echocardiogram and a Holter monitoring if needed or suspect cardioembolics. We can do a radiological evaluation for ultrasound carotid Doppler studies and chest X. For treatment strategy, we can determine the code status. Diet should be nothing per oral NPO on the admission, and correct hypovolemia and hypotension is present, and the blood pressure management. Patient with BP more than 220 or 110 who did not have an IV alteplase or thrombectomy and have no comorbid condition requiring acute antihypertensive therapy. Until the status of large vessel occlusion is known, monitor mean arterial pressure and tolerate up to 120 mm of mercury. So consider the antiplatelet therapy for most patients and with ischemic strokes and anticoagulation for patients with cardioembolic strokes. Patient treated with IV alteplase repeat non-contrast CT head after 24 hours and then consider starting antiplatelet. Consider deep venous thrombosis prophylaxis if indicated. Monitor blood glucose levels and avoid hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. You can also identify and treat source of hypothermia if it's more than 38 centigrade and give antipyretic medication to the patient who are hyperthermic. Provide supportive measure for hypoglycemia, seizures, and infection as needed. Dysphagia screening before the patient begins eating, drinking, or receiving oral medication with the help of speech language therapist. Consider nutritional status and dietitian for the detailed assessment and further dietary management. In immobile patient, provide intermittent pneumatic compressions if no contraindication in addition to the routine care to reduce risk of deep vein thrombosis. How we can prevent or secondary preventions for the strokes? Lifestyle modification encourage physical activity, smoking cessation, avoid alcohol and stimulants such as amphetamines and cocaine. If hypertension, reduce dietary sodium intake, and if obesity or overweight, advise weight loss. If hypertension, control blood pressure target of less than 130/80 mm of mercury, and control hyperlipidemia and LDL cholesterol less than 70 milligram per deci. Control the blood sugar if the patient is diabetic, and consider evaluation of obstructive sleep. For the rehabilitation, so start the rehabilitation as early as possible, and swallowing assessment with the help of speech therapist decrease the risk of aspiration, and poor nutrition and dehydration. So consider the NG tube for the patient with dysphagia during 7 days of stroke, and placing a percutaneous gastrostomy tube if anticipated inability to swallow safely for more than 2 to 3 weeks. Physical therapy should be task-specific and individualized exercise program with encourage patient to continue with physical activity after rehabilitation. Gait impairments and impaired imbalance offer gait training and balance training program on parallel bars and SLT devices or orthosis if needed. And limb impairment give task-specific training and engage affected limb. Other modalities, robotic therapies, neuromuscular electrical stimulation, mirror therapies, and adaptive devices. Occupational therapy for pay attention to the neglected side, driving, and return to work. And the speech and language therapy, including communication partner training. This is also video for the sound is not playing.
They have brought us down once before. Through determination and resilience, with the help of family and friends, and the right treatment, we go up again. Up again after stroke. Visit worldstrokecampaign.org for information about surviving a stroke or being a caregiver.
So both these video was published by World Stroke Organization for the care of the patients. For discharge plan, we can discharge. We can give the discharge follow up to the patients and arrange it home arrangements at home. Physiotherapy or occupational therapy at home or hospital, and proper teaching to the family about handing of NG tubes and bowel and bladder care, and how to prevent aspiration pneumonia and post. So thank you for my time.